Oh, hey, Den at the Oakley Outpost. How you doing? Happy Friday. Hope you've got a great weekend planned. Recently, our power company, as a preventive measure in high winds, started turning people's power off for sometimes up to 3-4 days at a time, and which was quite a hardship on quite a few folks. And it got me to thinking, what if our power went out and then the sun goes down? We'd be sitting in the dark. So I thought, what if I rigged up a light that runs off a battery, and that way Mary could see my beautiful face when the sun goes down. So I attempted that, and what I did was I had my battery and my inverter, which in the simplest explanation would be takes battery power and converts it to wall power, and I've got my switch to turn my lamp on, and I've got my lamp. It doesn't work. It's kind of embarrassing because I'm in the electrical industry, but it's not working. And I've tested each component and I know they're good. So wait a minute. Maybe there's a problem with the wiring. Maybe my circuit's not wired correctly and it's broken. And with broken wiring, it can't flow. Let's take a look. My battery is wired to my inverter. My switch is wired to my lamp. Oh my goodness. My switch wasn't wired to my inverter. Hey, success! Now Mary can see my beautiful face when the sun goes down if our power's out. You know, people are a lot like this circuit was broken. You know, they have their source, they have the Lord, they have their salvation, a converted life, and they have their mind, like a switch, and they have their life, which is like the lamp. But because of broken dreams, maybe childhood traumas, things that haven't gone right in life, maybe disappointments, they've developed a very poor self-image. Now, the Lord doesn't want us to be arrogant, okay? And He's very specific about that as you pour through Scripture. But the Lord loves us, and He wants us to have a positive self-image of ourselves. Just a proper one, a proper image in Him. So, David, the psalmist, said it best. He said in Psalm 139:14, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. You see, the psalmist David understood that he had value to God. You, my friend, are a work of masterpiece. You know, I've been called a piece of work, but you're a work of masterpiece. God only made one person like you, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And it doesn't matter what kind of label the world puts on you. Do not let the world define who you are. You are defined by who God says you are. And He says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And because of a poor self-image, it's very easy to go into a very negative mindset where you always think negatively. You don't think positively about anything. You're always thinking the worst that could happen, always thinking the worst of people. And that seems very extreme, but in the battlefield of the mind, that happens a lot. You see, when we're saved, God saves us, right? Our spirit jumps from death to life. But God does want us to participate in the renewing of our mind, learning to think a new way. In Romans 12:2, the Apostle Paul says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You see, the Apostle Paul knew something here, and that is that we needed a new way of thinking if we're going to walk in the Lord, because we've been thinking with carnal minds all through the time up until the time we got saved. And you think, well, how can I renew my mind? Well, the very first thing is a new attitude. Okay, think positively. You think, that's stupid, just think positively. Oh boy, daisies, rainbows. That is not what I'm saying. You know, Philippians 4:8 says it the best. It says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Start thinking on positive things in the Lord. Start off by thinking how great the Lord is. And this, my friend, because I had to go through this takes practice, okay? You know, it's funny how people think everything just goes bang right away. It does take practice to renew your mind. You can change the way you think because you are a masterpiece in God. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. This is Den at the Oakley Outpost.